Hey guys, welcome to another video by digit.in, and I have with me these two phones by OnePlus. As you can guess, this one of them is the OnePlus 6T and the OnePlus 6. Now both of these phones, the OnePlus 6T, they launched just within 6 months of each other, and we're here to explore the key differences that the OnePlus 6T has over the OnePlus 6. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to guess which one is the 6, which one is the 6T. If you have been following the news, the 6T has done away with the fingerprint sensor on the back and put it on inside the display. So what you have to do is you basically tap on the display and it opens up. So this is the OnePlus 6T. The highlight feature of it is the in-display fingerprint sensor, and here I have with me the OnePlus 6. Now both the phones are pretty similar. If you look at the spec sheet, they have the same Snapdragon 845 chipset powering it, up to 6 or 8 GB of RAM, 256 GB of storage or 128 GB of storage. Interestingly, this one won't come in a 64 GB storage variant and directly start at 128 GB. So yeah, that's out of the way. We have a Type-C port down here as well, and the dash charge is universally present in all OnePlus phones. But more interestingly, there is the notch on the OnePlus 6, which is quite ugly and that takes up a lot of space up front. In the case of the OnePlus 6T, it has shrunk down to a shape of a water droplet. Called the drop notch, it only takes up this much of the area, leaving the rest of the screen open for use, and it essentially gives much more real estate to your notification icons, your status bar and the likes. So moving ahead, these are the two key differences in the design and display. Now coming to the hardware, we ran a lot of tests, benchmark tests to be precise, to check whether there's any real significant difference, even though the hardware under the hood is more or less the same. So we ran Antutu and we got a score of 29,051.97, while on the OnePlus 6 it was pretty less at 244,517. So there is a big jump in the kind of scores that the Antutu benchmark gives, and I'm guessing that is because of the software optimization OnePlus has managed to do, which we're going to talk more about later. Now there is another benchmark app called Geekbench that gives you data on how well the CPUs perform, and in this case there isn't much separating the two. As you can see, there's just barely 3 or 4 points of difference. That's simply because it's using the same chipset that is functioning the same way in both the phones. Now there is the 3D Mark as well that we have used, and in case of 3D Mark, we have gotten scores of around the 6359 on the 6T, while 5702 on the OnePlus 6. The primary difference again is because of software optimization and the amount of CPU and the GPU the OnePlus 6T can open up thanks to more efficient usage. Okay, so right now I am taking a tour of my office, trying to test out how both the cameras of the OnePlus 6 and the 6T looks like. So here I am lining up the phone so that you guys can see that I am shooting the same frame and the same object with the same settings. So this will be one shot, and let's see how it turns out. We're going to test all the shots later. Oh, this one's a good light effect. Let me see how this one turns up. And moving on, so we're going to put most of the modes into testing. So far we are right now at the photo mode, which is the normal default mode that starts up when you open up the camera. And so what I'm going to do is, while I'm walking around the office, I'm just going to keep quickly taking shots of whatever things I find will hold some meaning and will shed some light into how the camera is actually. So here you can see I actually like the staircase that's going up. It is a bit dark as compared to the rest of the scene, so it's a good measure of how the dynamic range of the photo will turn out to be. Now here's another example of a good frame for photos where I have mostly shot the same scene Here you can see that the rest of the frame, the edges of it are darkened. There's the leaves that requires a lot more light to be shown, and here you have the background that is bright, and I have taken a shot. So yes, this is the office of digit.in. It's where we work out of, and I will quickly do another round and basically see how camera really the ceilings. We have a hanging garden in our office, and here let me take you to a secret place where we all like to chill out after working so long. And yes, this is it. This is a paradise for those who love bean bags, and we have one here. It's a good test of how the color reproduction of the phone will be like, and I have taken one shot out here. Let's quickly go out and see how the camera works outdoors. In I am out. This is one frame where we can check the integrity of patterns and how well they turn out. And moving on down the staircase, we are almost out of the building. Let's see how this one holds up in the bright sun. Well, from what we have tested so far, the OnePlus phones are pretty adept at taking shots with the perfect light, and I won't be surprised if the 6T also does more or less the same. So here we have photos under the bright sunlight. I'm going to go close to a flower or something and try and take a photo there. If you want, I can also zoom in to the flowers out here and show how well they turn out to be. Yeah, I have taken more photos. Let's see whether they will be any good, whether they're decent, whether they can beat the flagship phones that OnePlus so tries hard to do. But yeah, this one has good colors, like colors of fall, of autumn, and yeah, let's see how they will turn out. Let's try and take photos of these flowers, some macro shots maybe. Let's see how they turn up. I have them in focus out here, seeing where. Okay, I have taken photos. Let's try out the portrait mode on this one, shall we? Yes. Alright, let's quickly decide on the photos. Now, the best judge of the photos out here would be to see them in a calibrated display, but for quick references, we'll of course show you the photos in calibrated displays, but then quickly I will give you a rundown of how the photos have come out here. Now, more or less they look pretty similar out here. I can see the color balance, the color temperature on the OnePlus 6T is a bit cooler. The one on the 6 out here is a bit warmer. Now here the greens you can see are much more vibrant, not so much in this one. Same thing that you see here, the colors are popping out. The OnePlus 6 is also doing a pretty good job at reproducing the colors and the scene, but it just looks better on the 6T. Maybe it is the display that I am seeing out here, but here in this case, the 6T's photo is just blank. When I've zoomed in using the 2x digital zoom, the zooming maybe took away the colors that were showing up before, but on the 6, the colors are more or less pretty well preserved. Now here I have shot directly against the sun, and the warmification is pretty apparent out here. While on this one, there again same results. You have the patterns, the warmified straight lines look a bit yellowish, off-white if you ask me, but this one is pretty pristine white. It's more, the colors are a lot brighter, and we have most of the photos that we had taken, and in the meantime I am already out and moving up back to my desk. Shay, would you mind if I take a portrait shot of your face? No, it won't. Okay, we can test out.
Did you say when the gaming phone will be launched in India?
I am in the middle of a video shoot and I cannot answer you that. But then I got photos that I needed. Here is our reviews editor. Swapnil. Swapnil. Can you pose for a photo, please?
What?
Can you pose for a photo, please?
Sure.
This is for a comparison with the 660. So smile. Once again. Yep, we are. You want your photo to be taken as well? All right.
That's not what I came for, but okay.
Yeah. So this is Vignesh, our restaurant laptop reviewer, who loves his photos to be taken. And we are done. Hey, so now that we have tested out how the rear camera works in all the situations, let's put the front camera to test. So I'm not really the best model to take selfies, but hey, since there's nobody else here, so I will quickly use my face to take the photo, and you can see how well it turns out. So you can also take it in portrait modes, which I am going to do, where it's going to blur out everything. Yeah, sorry about that. So you have the portrait. I have taken a shot and we'll quickly see how well they compare. Oh, I accidentally deleted it, so I will have to take again. Yeah. So yeah, this is the 60 and the 6. Visible differences, as you can see, the skin tone is much brighter with the light adjusted, while this one is just bland as compared to it. So yeah, there is also an enhanced portrait mode out here that OnePlus claims that it has used a lot of face tuning applications to enhance your selfies and the portrait shots. So yeah, I have comparison shots of our reviews editor out here on the phones. So you can see the difference is pretty stark. On the face of it, the one on the OnePlus 6T, the subject's face is much more lit up with a lot of details, while on the 6 it is a sort of, it's a bit bland, but I would say neutral, and it depends upon your taste which you like the most. Now moving on, in the front camera there is the portrait mode there as well, and this Google Lens integrated in the OnePlus 6T. So if you have to get an information of something that you want to see in your that you see in your frame, you can quickly tap on it and it's going to start giving you results like this, right? So yeah, now after the camera part is done, let's talk about software a bit. So what has changed out here primarily is that the OnePlus 6T comes with Android 9.0 out of the box. Now that's going to make little difference to the users of OnePlus 6, because the OnePlus 6 out here has been running Android 9 Pie for quite some time now, and the basic features are more or less the same. You do get the gesture based navigation out here, and there is a reformed quick setting style, a dark mode on this one. Curiously missing is the digital well-being, but you do get adaptive battery out here. That is that helps a lot in keeping your battery usage to a minimum. Now they're coming to the battery itself. The OnePlus 6T packs a bigger battery of 3700 mAh versus a 3300 mAh on the OnePlus 6. That is around 400 mAh difference between the two. But when we ran PC Mark out here, which I will show you promptly as soon as I am able to find it. When we ran PC Mark out here, So the difference is just around 10 minutes, even with 400 mAh more battery. But from what I am guessing is PC Mark is running the phone continuously using the same set of workload. What happens in reality is it sort of varies day by day and hour by hour, the kind of workloads that you put your phone through. Plus there's the adaptive battery mode on the OnePlus 6T, which does improve battery life by a lot. So yeah, these are more or less all the key differences that you should know about. Now all these differences should help you decide whether you have to upgrade from the 6 to the 6T, although in our opinion there's not really much happening in the 6T that warrants an upgrade from the 6. But if you do own a OnePlus 5T from last year, the 6T is definitely something that you should look at. And yeah, these are more or less what we had to say about these two phones. If you have anything more to know and want us to answer, you can let us know in the comments. Stay tuned for a detailed review that's going to come up later this week. And till then, stay frosty and do subscribe to digit.in. Thank you.